Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
What is going on? Welcome to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold. This is Joey. Joey is finally back. He's here to do our NFL Week 1 best bets. Can't wait to dive into this with you, Joey. You excited?
I could not be more excited. NFL's starting up. We got some gambling to talk about, so let's do it.
All right. So first bet on the board, the way that we're going to go through this is we're going to do our 5 best bets against the spread. Then we're going to talk about survivor pieces that we like this week, player props, totals that we're in on, and then also we're going to talk about all the games that we did not mention amongst those as our leans or games to stay away from. So, Joey, I'll let you have the floor. What's your best bet of the week on a side?
On the spread, I am going to go with Detroit +4. I love Detroit. I love Dan Campbell. I think he's building a winning culture at that program. They had 3 wins last year, and Vegas already has their win prop at 6.5. That just shows people do have trust in the Lions and Dan Campbell. But the Lions did not look good from their record last year, but adding Aiden Hutchinson with the number 2 pick, I think he's going to have a monster year. And I think they match up good against the Eagles. I'm not sold on the Eagles one bit. I think the Lions are going to have a great home opener. And I think +4 is a lock.
You're not sold on the Eagles at all?
No, I'm not. I actually don't really like the Eagles. I don't even think they win their division. That's why I think they start off extremely slow.
This is like the hottest take possible within this company right now, to be anti-Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I think everybody's on the Eagles this year.
Oh, man. Listen, coming off that Hard Knocks, it showed. Dan Campbell wants to win, and there's no way that he's losing this home opener.
All right, fair enough. I actually like the Detroit side. It is one of my leans for this week. I am all over the Philadelphia Eagles. I've bet a lot of money on them across the market to win the division, over wins, et cetera, et cetera. But I do think that 4 at home, you better get that number before this moves to 3.5, because sharps are definitely hitting Detroit. And I think the public maybe a little bit too because of Hard Knocks. We'll see how that ends up going. But Detroit +4, I don't hate. This is actually my best bet in terms of the over this week. I bet it at over 47. It's at 48.5, 49 right now. That I wouldn't touch. 48.5. If this gets to 48, if you're out there, go bet the over. 48.5. No. 48. Key number in the market. Yes. Go bet the over here. I actually think that Detroit is a great bet for the over in week 2. Also, if you want to be super degenerate, against the Washington Commanders, over 45 points. I already bet that one also. Look, this Lions defense is still going to struggle. The secondary still stinks. Their linebackers aren't very good. The defensive line should be pretty decent. The offense is going to play with a ton of speed, and they have playmakers at every level. Jared Goff, I think, will be competent this year. They have a great offensive line, probably one of the top 5 offensive lines in football. So I love the over. If you get this at 48, that would be a stone cold or stone gold lock. Absolutely. On that over. My first best bet against the spread, I'm going to go to Cincinnati, but we're not going to take the Bengals. We're taking the Pittsburgh Steelers +6.5. Every game in the AFC North ends at 3 points. It's always a field goal game. You're taking a team that no one likes in the Pittsburgh Steelers, though everyone's bet the under 7.5. You're giving them +6.5 points against the defending AFC champions at home. Everybody's going to be high on the Bengals. They're 4-18 in the last 22 years. The Super Bowl runner-up is the next year in Week 1 against the spread. This is a perfect spot to bet a divisional dog on the road with a quarterback in Mitch Trubisky that no one trusts. I still think that this is going to be a really, really good defense in Pittsburgh. The total set at 44.5. This is a perfect bet. I'm all over the Pittsburgh Steelers +6.5.
I'm with you on that. I think putting Mitch in a new offense, you're actually going to see a talented quarterback. And I know it's surprising. Steelers have a lot of weapons who I like a lot in Johnson and Najee. Another thing that I wanted to say is it's a divisional matchup here. And these teams are absolute rivals. I love the Steelers +6. I think that's too many points for a Week 1 divisional matchup. If this game does end and the Bengals do win, I don't think it's more than 2 points. So I'm definitely with you on the Steelers. The whole public is high on the Bengals simply because of that Super Bowl run. But I know we talked about it before. I'm not that high on the Bengals this year. I'm not even sure if they get to the playoffs. It's another hot take, but I like that pick a lot. The Steelers +6 was in my my bets for the week.
All right. What's your next bet up?
All right. This one was – I'm excited to talk about this. I know everyone is. This might be the game of the week at this point. Browns versus the Panthers.
Yep.
I think it's Baker time. I think it's Bake Show. I think the Panthers -2.5 is kind of a slap in the face. I think it should be -7. I'm all on the Panthers. Jacoby Brissett is not an NFL quarterback. I saw it as a Dolphins fan last year. He is not a starter. There's no talent there. Baker's playing with a chip on his shoulder. And also the Browns are 0-16-1 in their last 17 season openers. Take the Panthers. Baker Mayfield is still a good quarterback, and I think he's going to have a day.
I think that the last time that they covered in week 1, I forgot I heard it yesterday. I think that Kyle Bowler was their quarterback. So that should probably tell you all you need to know about that. Now, I will say, you gave out the number 2.5. This number is now +1.5 for the Browns at BetMGM. Sharps are really coming in on the Browns at this point. I'd be interested to see where this goes by kickoff. I've seen as low as pick 'em in some places. If it keeps moving that way, it makes me think the Sharps know something about the Browns. I don't personally feel good about it. I did bet a couple times on Jacoby Brissett last year. It ended up working out well. No, that game where Miami went into Vegas is like one of my favorite gambling games ever. Like gross gambling games. Loved watching Brissett. But it was great. I got Brissett. It was a disgusting game, but he covered, so I don't care.
It was. That was the game that went into OT, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sweating my balls off over here on
that.
So the total set at 42, so going to be a low line, defensive struggle. I still like Cleveland's defense a lot. You know, if they gave the reason that they went out and got Deshaun is because the rest of that roster is pretty elite. And I don't really love their wide receivers this year, but everywhere else they're pretty good. Carolina, can we say that? Their defense is really young and really talented, but have they put it together yet? McCaffrey healthy, DJ Moore healthy, obviously that's helpful. I think that Baker could have a good year. I'm not going to take a position on this line. I'm just interested to see where this ends up, because if it ends up as pick 'em, I may be tempted to go in the Browns here just because I think the Sharps know something, not because my personal read says anything about it.
Gotcha.
My next bet on the board, this is also my survivor pick, but I'm going to go all out here. Baltimore -7 at the Jets. Look, I know Joe Flacco's going up against his old team. I know that the old vet might have one good game left in him. I know that he threw the ball all over the yard last year when he came in for Zach Wilson. This Ravens team just starts hot. This is my Super Bowl team, my Super Bowl favorite. Lamar Jackson just got announced that he's not signing a contract. He's going to be motivated as shit. I love that he's not signing the contract. That's great. This Ravens defense, I think, is going to be the best defense in football this year. They have the best kicker in football. I think the Ravens come out and absolutely stomp on the New York Jets. I think that they win like 42-10.
Wow. Well, my best bets for the week disagree with this one because I picked Jets +7. I don't know. I think Saleh is a great coach, and I think there's no way that he opens up getting his teeth stomped in. Lamar himself is just an absolute stud. You can't deny that. And I did see that he didn't sign the contract, which is why I didn't like it. I think there's way more pressure on him to perform now. There always was pressure on Lamar. People were saying, he can't throw the ball. Can he last in this league? And obviously he's proved people wrong day in and day out. But I think there's a lot more pressure on him. I think the only thing the Jets really have to focus on is stopping Mark Andrews, because he is one of the best tight ends in the league, no doubt about him. I scooped him up in fantasy, so I'm hoping he has a good game. I think we're going to see these young guys on the Jets perform really well, though, in Sauce, Moore. I don't know. I think the Jets do keep it close, and that's why I did take the +7. I know Flacco's playing his old team. It's almost like it's shaped up too perfectly. I'm on Jets +7.
Head to head, baby. Let's go. I love it. Love a little spice on a Friday morning. Fair enough. What's your third best bet? I just give it out with the Jets.
No. Yeah. I'm going to skip the Jets one now, but I do like the Saints -5 against the Falcons. I think the Saints are a better team. I think the Falcons are going to continue to be the worst team in the league. I like Mariota, but I think his time has passed. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. And I think Jameis Winston is going to prove to people that he's going to have an amazing year, and he deserves to be a starter, and he will be a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I have the Atlanta Falcons plus 5.5 written down. This is one of my strong leans and potentially one of my best bets.
Okay.
So we're really head to head here. It's fine. My reason for the Falcons, so the total set at 43 right now, plus 5.5 as a home divisional dog. It's just a perfect spot. Like, forget who the teams are and what your opinion of the Falcons or the Saints may be. If you give me week 1 plus 5.5 divisional dog with a total of 43, I'm always going to take that home dog. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm not trying to look too much into, what's Mariota going to look like in the scheme? What's the Saints defense going to look like? Is Jameis Winston going to have, a successful season with the new head coach, Dennis Talent? Doesn't matter as much to me. I'm getting plus 5.5 as a home divisional dog, total set at 43. I have to bet it. From an actual angle perspective, I think that defending Mariota in this offense is going to prove to be a little difficult for the Saints early on. I think it'll be interesting. Atlanta has all of their playmakers. My question for this game is really like, is Atlanta's defense competent enough to stop what the Saints are going to do? And then on the other side, is the Saints offense, given all of the kind of spare parts that they're putting together, there's an idea of a really good offense there, but is it cohesive yet? Do we know that Michael Thomas is going to be back? Is Chris Olave, as a rookie in his first game, going to be ready for the big moment? Is Jarvis Landry incorporated the offense yet? What's going on with Alvin Kamara? Is Jameis Winston healthy? What's the offensive line look like without left tackle Teron Armstead and no Trevor Penning? Like, it's just question marks for me about, they have the pieces to be really successful. Is it going to come together in week 1 and cover a 5.5 point spread on the road against a divisional opponent? I don't know.
You're right. You do make a good point on they have so many stars and talents around them. All they have to do is put it together, and they could easily be a playoff team. So I'm curious to see how that does work out with the Saints. I wanted to go into my survivor pick pool.
Yep, go for it.
So I know that we talked about trap game this, trap game that. I had to just go with it. I had to go with the Colts against the Texans, even though I'm completely setting myself up for failure. I think the line started at Colts -9. Now it's at Colts -7. People are high on the Texans. Not high, but, they have some hope for the Texans this year. I know you said that you could see them being kind of a dark horse in a way. I'm playing it safe first round. I'm going with the Colts because I don't really feel the need to pick them any other week either. They're not really a strong survivor pool team, so I'm going with the Colts. I'm excited to see Matt Ryan in that offense too.
So I had 4 teams written down as survivor picks. So I'm in the survivor contest in Las Vegas at the Circa. So that one is 20 weeks. So you have to play one every 18 weeks, and then for the Thanksgiving and the Christmas Day games, you have to pick one. And if you have used all of those teams that are playing on those days, you're out. You're screwed, even if you make it that far. So there's a little bit more of like a long game here. So there's some teams that I just can't pick because I have to save them for them. So I had 4 teams written down: San Francisco, Baltimore, Tennessee, and Indianapolis. I took off San Francisco after the George Kittle injury just because of, they depend so much on that blocking tight end that I just don't want to get caught in that way, even though I firmly believe that San Francisco is going to win that game. Tennessee, I like the Giants at +6 this week. This is one of my strong leans. I just think that's going to be a really, really tight game. Tennessee makes a lot of sense because it's the only game, it's the biggest home favorite that is a non-divisional game. So that's like kind of what sticks out to me. Look, my 6th favorite at home. Derrick Henry is going to be healthy and fully rested. The Giants' new head coach, we don't know what that's going to look like yet. So it makes a lot of sense to take Tennessee, but do I really want to bank week 1 in my entire lifeline on the Tennessee Titans? Absolutely fucking not. So, no. And then my 4th one was Indy, and my general kind of rule is I don't want to deal with divisional teams, especially when they're on the road. So they kind of got off the board for me. I just can't get around it. I do also have, as one of my best bets, Houston +7.
All right.
The Indianapolis Colts have lost 7 straight openers. Even if you go back to the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season under Frank Reich, they start slow and then they get really, really hot. Just not a team that I want to get in front of. I think this Houston Texans team can do a lot of interesting things. Offensively, I like the bottom of their roster a lot. Like 20 through 53, they have one of the best rosters in the NFL. They just have no star talent. I expect to see a low-scoring, tight game. I think that the Colts win like 24-20, something like that. Keep the ball on the ground with Jonathan Taylor, have success there. I know that they blew him out both times last year, but I don't anticipate that this year. So give me 24-20. I think Houston comes inside the number, but I think that Indianapolis probably a decent survivor play. It just wouldn't be my favorite. One of my top four, but I can't get around it being my number one.
Set myself up for failure because you know the trap's coming. Davis Mills is going to have a career game. They got, Watson's gone, so they don't have to deal with that drama all year again, too. He's the guy. They have trust in him. You never know, man. That's unfortunately now I'm kind of second guessing it after you just said all that.
No, I don't think you have to second guess it. I think it's one of the top 4 picks on the board. It just wouldn't be my favorite. But you're on the Jets at +7. So why in the fuck would you take Baltimore?
We don't have to agree on everything. We're good.
Well, I think we've agreed on nothing this morning.
I have another bet that I want to talk about. It's an anytime touchdown bet. I love these. One of my favorite bets to make. No parlays either, just straight up. I'm going to have to go against my own team here. I think Devontae Parker scores a touchdown against the Dolphins this week.
It's like a revenge game thing?
Yep. I think Xavier Howard is going to be handling most of the field, but Byron Jones has just been ruled out for the game. He's on the list. So it's curious to see which one of these young corners is going to be matched up against some of these patch receivers. I think he's going to have a day. Unfortunately, I still think the Finns win. But Devontae Parker, revenge game TD. I would hop on that.
All right. I don't hate it. Although I think New England may score just those 7 points.
That's it. Nothing more.
All right. So I mentioned 4 of my best bets. My 5th best bet that I have on the board is for Monday night. Seahawks +6.5 against Denver. Really low scoring game. I think that it obviously a great spot for Seattle at home. I don't know what to expect from this Broncos offense. I think Seattle just comes out hot. I could see them absolutely winning this game. I kind of like them outright to win at +6.5, +200 on the money line. I like the under 44.5 in that game as well. Sorry, Russ. I don't think that you walk back into Seattle with the 12th man who's going to be going absolutely insane. I think Seattle's really going to throw it in Denver's face, and I don't love Nathaniel Hackett. I don't love it early.
We got Geno Smith, right?
Oh, yeah, we got Geno.
He's the starter. Okay, man, I would have liked to see Drew Lock, but yeah, I like that a lot. I think Russ is going to be absolutely rattled walking back into that stadium. It's going to be electric. People are doubting the Seahawks. Everyone is just putting them on the lowest of lows, including myself. But I think they do come out hotter than most people would expect. So I like the Seahawks +6.5. That's a lot of points at home. First game of the season, 12th man.
Exactly. All right, let's run through the games that we haven't talked about yet. So we talked about Ravens. I'm on Ravens. You're on Jets. Oh, I like the over 44.5 in the Ravens-Jets game for what it's worth. I'd said 42-10 was my predicted score. Maybe that's a little bit mean to the Jets, but I do like the over there. Saints-Falcons, we're on different sides. Patriots-Dolphins. I think you and I are both on the Dolphins here. Love the Dolphins. Don't love the number 3.5. Wouldn't bet that, but I've already hit it to 2.5 and 3. If this comes back down to 3, I'd probably bet the Dolphins again. I know that you sprinkled a little bit when it got to 3.5, but I think that's more because you can't help yourself at this point.
I did. I can't. But I do. Most of my bets are all money line because I usually don't like taking the spread. But, as a Dolphins fan, I think they're going to blow them out. But most of my bets are money line. I think to be safe, you want to take the money line on that game.
The bet that I like the most in that game, I think, is going to be Miami team total over. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be set at. 45, so 24-21. So if you get Miami at if you can get Miami at 23.5 or 24, I love that. 24.5 gets a little dicey, but 23.5, 24, I would be all over the Miami Dolphins.
I do this one.
Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers, we talked about. Steelers, Bengals, we talked about. Nothing on the total there. 49ers, Bears. I love the 49ers. Now this line, interesting. Line at MGM right now, 49ers -6.5, -115. Total set at 40.5. Any read on this game after the George Kittle injury? Any interest in betting it?
I honestly am going to go with the under here. I could see this being a really low-scoring game. I don't see Chicago scoring more than 7 points either. I think they have one of the worst offenses in the league. So I'm all on the under here. I'm not going to touch anything else because you never know with these games.
Fair enough. I like the 49ers. Fuck, not at 6.5. If the line is 7 come Sunday, I love it as a teaser piece. I've already bet it as a teaser piece in a couple of different places. I can read those off to you right now. I combine them with the Minnesota +8, Cleveland +8.5. I actually lost one with the Rams last night on that, and I've combined it with Baltimore at -1 as well. All right. Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions, we talked about. You like Detroit. I like the over if you can get it at 48 or lower. It's currently 48.5 at BetMGM. Colts, Texans. I like the Texans. You're on the Colts for Survivor. Jaguars, Commanders. Okay, this is an interesting game. I love the Jaguars, and I bet the Jaguars at +3 and +140 on the money line. It is now +2.5 in the market. Total set at 43.5. Any particular angle you're interested in this one?
I'm going with the Jags money line. I like the Jags on this. I think they come back. ETN back too. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is also playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder too, because he hasn't been able to do much. But I think this is the year where we finally see that he's going to be a QB that's going to be around in this league. And I think he throws all over the Washington defense. Did you see that thing about Chase Young too, re-aggravating his injury?
Yeah,
that
right, a while.
Like that right there too. It just shows how that season's going to go for them. So I like the Jags. I think they got all that drama out of the way too last year. They open up the season 1-0.
I am on the Jaguars for the season over, and I'm on the Commanders under, so it only makes sense that I'm on the Jaguars in this position. It's a little scary with how much action's on the market in terms of the Jaguars. So I'm like, that's why it's not in my top 5. Also, that number at 2.5, like if it was a +3 or +3.5, it'd probably be in. I just think that Doug Peterson and that offense is going to come out and really surprise people and be a lot more efficient and effective against this Washington Commanders defense that did nothing in the secondary in the offseason. It was, objectively terrible last year. So I would expect a really good game from the Jaguars offensively. I kind of like that over 43.5 points. I know it's a little scary, but I kind of like the over 43.5. I think the Jacksonville's offense gets rolling.
What do you think what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Green Bay Minnesota Vikings game? This might be the game of the week.
It's definitely the game of the week for me, I think, at least after last night, although last night's ended up being trash. I bet the Minnesota Vikings as a teaser piece at +8.5 when they were +2.5. Now the number's -1.5. Total's at 47 right now. I think that, and that I'm across the board on everything Vikings this year. Yeah. I think the market has overreacted to the Vikings a little bit. I kind of want to bet the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize they're still going against A-Rod, like an MVP 2 years in a row. I agree with the fact that the public itself is just really making the Vikings to seem like they're a top team, which I know we're all high on the Vikings this year and Kirk Cousins specifically. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I do like the over on this as well. I think both
47.
I think both QBs throw for easily over 300 yards, and I think it's going to be a shootout.
Oh, so Rodgers over 300 yards. Well, if you like that, the player props on those are probably going to be in like the 260s. So got to smash the overs if you like that there, and bet the over 47.5. And you probably get some really interesting wide receiver props to take advantage of in terms of yardage there.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more games on the board that we haven't talked about. Kansas City Chiefs -6 at the Arizona Cardinals. Total stood at 53.5. I love the under in this game, under 53.5. If this line gets up to 7 for Kansas City, I'd love it as a teaser piece. I think Kansas City is completely undervalued right now. The market has caught up to that when this line was 2.5 and then 3.5. This week it jumped all the way up to 6. So there's probably a buyback opportunity on Arizona, but I'm not going to take it. Just give me the under 53.5 and wait for Kansas City to maybe get to -7. I'll use it as a teaser piece. That's about all I have on this one.
Yeah, if this game stayed at KC -3.5, I probably would have said that's my max play of the week. Obviously, people start seeing that the Chiefs are still the Chiefs no matter what, even though Tyreek's gone. And I know we both are very not high on the Cardinals at all. So
to say the least,
I would say it's definitely Chiefs money line in this one. And I do like the under too. I think this is going to be a low scoring game that people aren't really as interested in as well. I don't think Kyler's going to start the season hot or anything like that either. So right. I'm going with the Chiefs in the under.
Like it. 2 more games that we haven't talked about. Well, actually, 3 more games that we haven't talked about at all. We'll run through them quickly. Raiders, Chargers. Chargers -3.5 at home. Total set at 52.5. Any particular angle on this one?
I like Vegas plus 3.5. I like Vegas with the points. If it was 2.5, I wouldn't probably take it, but I don't know. I like 3.5 divisional game and a good rematch from last year's finale. So I do like Vegas on this one.
Yeah, 3.5. You know, they have it out there for a reason. I think it looks really interesting and intriguing, but they haven't moved it. You would anticipate that most of the action would be on Vegas in this game. The fact that they haven't moved it makes me think they know something about the Chargers in this game. I just don't want to. I don't want to take a bite out of that apple either way in this one, and I don't want to touch the total because I could see this being 24-21 Chargers, and I could also see it being 42-38. Everyone track and field meet.
Yeah, this is looking like a game where I probably wouldn't bet and just enjoy it. I don't think I'm touching this. It's too divisional. It's too fishy.
You tell me that on Sunday when they start scoring all these points, and I'm like, all right, I got to get into some action on this one.
Oh, live bet.
Exactly. I'm going to be live betting the shit out of that game. I can guarantee right now. Giants Titans line's now 5.5 at MGM. Any interest in that? Total's 43.5.
I would probably say the under in this one. Giants offense is still just ridiculously bad. I don't care if they changed anything. I'm looking forward to see Saquon run. I hope he does good, but I'm going to take the under completely. I think this game is going to be a run battle and nothing's really going to come from it. I would say 17-7 Titans win.
Ooh, that's really low. I don't hate it though. I think it's going to be pretty low scoring myself. Last game on the board. I don't have any action on this one. I know what the right side is, but I haven't bet it yet. Tampa Bay minus 2.5 at the Dallas Cowboys. Total set at 50.5. The one thing I did bet in this game is I bet the under at 51.5 when it was out there in the market. Do not bet this below 51. If you see a 51 out there, totally fair to bet it. 51 is a really, really key number in this game. 27-24, probably a very likely outcome. So don't touch it at 50.5. Please do me a favor. Unless you like the over, then definitely go bet this right now. Plus 2.5 for the Cowboys. I know that's the right side. I just absolutely want no fucking part of it.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would go Cowboys. I know Tampa Bay, they got some stuff going on. Brady was all over the place. It's another year, and obviously he's the GOAT, but I'm curious to see how Tampa Bay is going to be this year too. I would take Dallas plus 2.5. Also a game that I'm probably going to stay away from until the live bets.
Yeah, and also it's Sunday Night Football. Like, you're going to tell me that.
I know, but Sunday Night Footballs is when I like to do the anytime touchdown bets, which in that case, I will bet Tony Pollard anytime.
This is my favorite to do on Sunday Night Football, especially when I don't like the teams. Shortest touchdown, under 1.5 yards. Just root for them to get to the 1 yard line and punch it in.
What's the odds on that? What are the odds?
It's like minus 125, minus 130 for shortest touchdown to be 1 yard.
Okay.
And then I always love doing first touchdown scored. So what you did last night with Gabe Davis. I love taking two guys, one guy on each team, root for both sides. I don't care who has the ball. Just want my guy to get in the end zone. And I have a rule. I put this out on Twitter last night, but I have a rule with my buddies that I watch with. If I hit 3 in a row during the course of the season, I do them for Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. If I hit 3 during the course of the regular season, Ruth Chris dinner on me.
Oh my goodness! All right, well now I better be invited to that. You gotta send me your first touchdown scores so I can ride those as well, and we can be sweating them together.
Will do. All right, that does it for Gambling with Gold, episode 102, our NFL best bets for week 1. We'll talk to you guys soon. Good luck with all your bets this week. Joey, let's make some money, baby.
Let's do it.
See ya.